Hello, friends. Welcome to another episode of HR to CHRO podcast series. And today we have Mr. Akhilesh Mishra with us. He started his career with Dream Jobs, then he joined Bajaj Capital, then he was in Cafe Coffee Day, then he was at VLCC, UPL, and at a very young age, he is now head HR of Nurture.farm. So, welcome, Akhilesh. Thanks for giving us time.
Thank you so much, Amit, and thank you so much, Kaushal Academy, for bringing this topic to the table. And I'm very privileged to share my experiential learning with you and the professionals across.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Akhilesh. So, to start with, why HR? Why did you decide to start your career in HR?
Uh, so again, thank you to the audience and HR, young professionals and the seniors and mentors, whosoever is, watching this episode. If I look back to my background or my journey, so I am coming from a farmer family, is from a small village, and we can imagine about the ecosystem from where I am. So life is very easy, but full of gratitude, resilience, and hard work, and it has a lot of lessons across. That's how from where I'm coming, and when I always think about the ecosystem from where I have come from. The one sentence always keep in my mind. My father used to tell me कि खेती को आप समझोगे तभी खेती फलेगी, otherwise नहीं होगी. And I can correlate it to HR. So because HR is not about the process and policies, it's all about the people. If you start thinking people for business or business from people, right? And that's how gave me the prospect of HR. Uh, to be very honest, when I have completed my graduation in science, I never thought about getting into HR. But when I started working as a recruitment consultant, and then I started feeling what a powerful connect it is. When I'm connecting people with opportunity, and that opportunity is coming with lot of aspirations, lot of dreams, desires, energy, and that's another level of chapter in their life, how they are starting their life and how they are shaping their lifestyle. And this is something clicked in me, and that's how I started my career in HR. I started with Bajaj Capital initially, learn about the performance and the efficiency of the people. Then Cafe Coffee Day, the rawest way of HR, a large workforce, um, unit level economics of the store level, the compliances, the ER and IR things. Then VLCC, uh, building capabilities for the customer facing businesses. And then UPL happened, the large global organization, but full of complexity, wherein I got assignment and opportunity to work with parallel assignment, build business from scratch, draft a complete strategy and people system for the largest agri-tech which we build, uh, nurture.farm today. So now I'm handling large workforce, and each each employee of each platform, each businesses, it's very different. And whenever I interact with them, whether in the cafeteria or in the field, whenever I'm traveling or anyone coming to discuss with me for anything, right? There are a lot of learnings every day.
Very nice. So, see, I can resonate with your idea of farming. See, there are two kinds of people. I come from sales. I worked in corporate world for 15 years in sales. Now, in HR more so, but also in sales, there are two kinds of people. One could be farmers who, try to grow people under them, who try to nurture them, who try to spend time with them, going out on the field, on the on the sales calls with them, and try to, farm them. Others are hunters who
Correct.
just out how can I get the maximum out of this guy and
Correct.
use that person as a means to my end of growing in my career.
Correct.
And over my career, I have seen that it's only the people who are farmers they reach the CXO level, and people who are hunters they typically land at the mid level, and generally they are at that level. So in HR, it is more so because ultimately the I am talking only about the sales, but HR is trying to do that for the entire organization. So it's a very powerful word, farming the human capital, rather than looking at it from.
Correct, correct, correct,
So
correct.
it's some thoughts on that, Akhilesh.
Yeah, yeah. So I guess it's a very critical role and a very critical position, because you're not just only working for you. You're not only working for the businesses you are working for. You're working for the people. The
Correct,
people, everyone has their own career priorities, everyone has their own family priorities, and how you can support them to grow, develop, and then excel. So I guess it's more into developing everyone's life, and how in this position you can help them to grow, not only professionally, in the personal front as well,
person.
because
Right,
it's very co-created environment. Because our personal life impact into
correct,
professional, and professional impact into the personal.
correct.
So this is how it's very co-linked. And I guess any step which we are taking as a professional inside of the organization, we always need to think through how it is going to be.
So the
Yeah.
question I want to ask is, you coming from a farming background, and you know the value of nurturing a sapling and then making it grow into a tree. Did that help you? Because HR people generally are more empathetic, they are better listeners, you know. So, but that farming background, did it help you in rising in your career faster than the normal trajectory?
No, so I guess again just correlate it to. So so actually it's a game of fairness, right? In the
Okay,
agriculture also, right? Uh,
correct,
we al- we always need to think about when we need to prepare a soil, then
correct,
what kind of right seed we
correct.
need for the field, right? And then at what time we need to
Water
give
it and
water it,
fertilizer.
fertilization, right? And what ratio we need to put into,
Correct,
right? And at what time we need to plug out the weed,
correct,
right? And
correct,
what time we need to trim, right? And at what time we can harvest, right? So I guess if we can correlate it, right? So I guess we need to prepare ecosystem wherein the people will grow, the business will happen, right? Because eventually the customer is our people, and the business is happening through people, right? So we need to understand what the right set of people is for the business, right? It's not only about the people. So we need to understand, and then of course, the watering and the fertigation, the incentivization and the benefits and the compensation program has to be designed in a way so that which will help people to grow. And then of course, we need to always concern about the non-performers, right? Because that's something we need to always look at, so that we can create an environment where the performers will thrive, where the right behavior will thrive. So we can correlate with the farming, and that's always helped me understand very quickly how we can empathize, how we need to be very fair, because sometimes we need to trim the tree, right? The
correct, correct,
reorg change management style. So
correct.
that's always helping for me to initiate and correlate with the business. Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. So, see, Akhilesh, only 0.5% people they reach the top, the CXO level, and you, by God's grace, have been able to reach the head HR position quite fast. So, what have been your secrets of success? So, being patient, and you know that inbuilt patience coming from the farming background is one of them, like you explained. But what else?
To be very honest, actually, there is no secret. It's all about the practice of the behavior, to be stay curious,
Mm-hmm.
consistent, and connected. And that's always my working style, is
Mm-hmm.
to stay connected with the people.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess that's how the HR is, because HR can't happen with the isolation.
Correct.
I always remember one discussion with one of my business manager in my previous organizations. He called me in a day that, Akhilesh, uh, uh, we can't manage business by sitting at the AC rooms,
Correct.
right? And that's always in my mind that, if if I need to work for a business, I need to understand the business.
Very nice.
I guess because the day you will start seeing business through people and people through business, then you will grow.
Can you give an
And that's
example on
where,
this?
so there are multiple example I would say, but one example which I can plug into, when we started thinking about how we can, grow, how we can make more uh, progressive organization in terms of framing accountability in the team as a culture.
Mm-hmm.
And the my performance management system has to correspond the communication in a way. And
Mm-hmm.
then we started thinking the gig. So we are the first one who introduced gig in the agri sector and in the rural economy, I would say emerging economy, 2017-18. So
Mm-hmm.
when we used to have a workshop, and then one of my front level staff asked me, uh, that if I am working hard compared to others,
Mm-hmm.
why I'm not deserving a better incentive? And that
Mm-hmm.
has been given age. So because the people who is working for the business, he has a mindset of the business, because the revenue, if he is able to generate revenue, why not he can get the contribution out of it? And that's how it's correlates so fast.
Correct. Correct.
So, and that's how, whenever, if you look at my journey, always change the industry, and within UPL also,
Mm-hmm.
different industry, right? So, I always spent a lot of time into the business field. If
Very
I'm,
nice.
whenever I'm joining, so I always, spend time with the shop floor,
Mm-hmm.
retail counters,
Mm-hmm.
uh, even with the farmer field when I associated, even I traveled in, bike
Mm-hmm.
with my operators to understand their pain point at the night also, in the
Okay.
battlefield also, right? So that I can get the real challenges and real pain point. If I'm not able to understand why my people are awake at night, how
Mm-hmm.
can I, draft a policies and strategies and processes which matter most for them?
Correct.
So these are the things I would say which matter most. And another thing is, I never stopped learning. So I uh, have completed my MBA while working, and
Mm-hmm.
then I enrolled myself for executive program with Accelerate to understand more about the talent management.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm currently pursuing CHRO competencies from IMK. And there are lot of certification from the online portals and the organization which has always given me opportunity to learn. And I guess the thought process which I carry now, or the thinking about the transformation, it is being shaped by all these learnings. So these are the key pillars of success for me. uh, because I always, I'm a great fan of Ramcharitmanas for the learning point of view since my childhood. And there is one very important chopai which I always remember. uh, मति कीरति गति भूति भलाई, जो जेहि जतन जहां जेहि पाई, so जानव सतसंग प्रभाव, लोकहु वेदन आनो पाओ. So it's all about surrounding, where you are putting yourself. So because the surrounding is very progressive, you will progress. So always go for a better mentors. So always, I always have very, high gratitude. I always carry a high level of gratitude for my mentors, my business managers, my managers, who always given me opportunity to learn from them and
Mm-hmm.
work closely with them and grow with them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Very nice. So, gratitude, you earlier also spoke about gratitude, resilience, hard work, curiosity, consistency, knowing about business, being in touch with business, always continuous learning, and being grateful to mentors and to learn from them.
Yeah.
So many. So, out of which, if I have to ask you to pick two or three, the top ones, which one out of these seven, eight, nine aspects, which two or three would you say have helped you the most in reaching the stage you are at now?
So
So,
one is the
gratitude.
curiosity.
Okay.
Yeah. So one is the curiosity, because if you're always curious about learn about the business and new things, because now that the business trends are moving so fast, right? It's a purely VUCA world. The customer's behavior is changing so fast. If you are still curious, then you will learn and you will grow. That's one thing. The second thing is the gratitude. I always have a high level of gratitude, because whatever I am, so I always have a big respect for the mentors, and I always continue to search for a good mentors who will continue to contribute in my success journey. And uh, the learning path, because we always need to learn about
Okay.
newness, what new things is
Very
coming
nice.
up. So I
Very
guess
nice.
these are the three top
Okay. So
items I would say.
see, I stayed in the corporate world for around 15 years, Akhilesh. And then I started on my own. But over the journey, I have seen many people not progressing beyond mid level, or somewhere between mid level to senior level. And one of the key reasons I realize is resilience, which you mentioned, which you also mentioned. So, can you give us some example on where some point in your journey where you were facing challenges, and because of your resilience, you were able to face those hardships and come out, on top of it?
Yeah, so I guess uh, this is one of the most key skill I guess everyone should have. And I guess uh, whatever comes in a way in terms of challenges or complexity, if we are ready, our mindset is ready, uh, and then of course, we can manage, we can counter it. Uh, I can take example when we started spinning off from a conventional business model to a new age tech organization. Uh, in the change management phase, right? Because it has a lot of anxiety amongst
Correct.
the team, because how it's going to function, because the new mindset is there, the new leadership is there, a lot of newness is there, new way of working is there, right? A lot of tech integration is there. Uh, so how it is going to be function, what will happen to their role, how it will impact to their day-to-day operations, right? So a lot of things are there. But when I directly connected with one of my service manager, just sat with him and just listen about it, how it is going to be, right? And once he has shared everything, and then I just shared what going to next, how it is going to impact, and how it will shape, right? So I guess resilience is something which give us a positive mindset
Mm-hmm.
towards moving positive.
Correct.
And I guess that's how we made it very smooth.
Mhm.
And we transitioned from conventional to a full tech org, and we are the largest agri-tech
Very
organization.
nicely.
Yeah.
Very nicely put. So, to young HR professionals or to young professionals from any department, wherever they are listening, whenever there will be challenges on the way, but just like this story, you should always be able to find creative solutions and have a positive mindset. Very powerful. See, you
Mm.
also talked about consistency.
Yeah.
So, some thoughts on that. See, why am I asking this? Why am I asking? Let me give context to this. See, 70-80% of whatever we do in our work life or even at home, 70-80% of whatever we do is boring, repetitive tasks.
Yeah.
And the secret of success behind top achievers like Virat Kohli or Amitabh Bachchan, Sachin Tendulkar, etc., has been the consistency of doing those boring, repetitive tasks to the best of their ability. So that is why, in that context, young HR professionals sometimes, and especially the Gen Z, because they are more creative and they are more at it. So sometimes they may find it slightly difficult to do those. But please share your experiences or your stories on how powerful it is to be consistent, Akhilesh.
So you rightly pointed out. I guess uh, it's not only about the Gen Z. I guess when I moving into campus, and in fact, in the communities and relatives also, there is many young aspirant. They are just completing MBA or completed, or they are thinking about HR, or many of time there are many executives whom I met during my events or in the market. So there is always a confusion, and I can sense the confusion is because of the comparison, because they
Okay.
always compare,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because within the colleagues or within the function or within the circle, right? So I guess there's the thing which is actually creating ambiguity, or or I guess that's the reason there is anxious this
Mm-hmm.
in this. So I guess consistency is something which always keeps them focused into, and my big message to the all young professionals, or the through the platform of your Kaushal Academy, I would suggest that, be consistent, be focused, because there's the superpower that you have,
Correct.
right? So if you have consistency, if you will continue to improve, then of
Hmm.
course you will climb into
Correct.
ladder,
Correct.
and that's how you can explore your own way of success
Correct.
instead of chasing someone else. So
Correct.
because you are unique, you need to work on yourself and what works for you. And that's why, for a guidance point of view, if you ask me, for the young professionals, I always give some suggestion. One is, uh, to have self awareness first. Know
Okay.
about yourself first. What
Okay.
makes you happy? What makes you more engaged?
Mm-hmm.
What value for you? I guess these are the critical thing which everyone should know about it, and at a point of time, for every one of us as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
I guess because every stage, every phase, we pass through certain level of confusion or comparison. Then I guess we need to re-realize it.
Correct.
And second thing, for the growth point of view, it's not only about HR. For any other functions they belong into, whatever level they are into, right? I guess everyone should know about uh, the cash model, how my company is generating revenue, how my company is generating cash, and how my company is losing cash, right? I
Mm-hmm.
guess this is one thing which is very serious, that
Mm-hmm.
will help people to grow from junior level to mid level, and from mid level to senior level. And of course, likewise, I am also aspiring for the next level. I guess
Mm-hmm.
these are the critical uh, thing which will help everyone to grow. Yeah.
Correct.
And
Very correct.
other than I guess, likewise, consistency point of view, uh, continue to invest in yourself, learn, continuous learning through event, through webinar, through certification, through any of program, executive program. There are a lot more material available. You can have mentors. You can, read books. The
Mm-hmm.
way, whatever is the favorable way, just
Mm-hmm.
more, learn more about it, so that you will continue to invest. And the another suggestion is, don't chase the designation. Don't chase the designation, because uh, uh, rather you should chase the experience,
Very
knowledge,
nice.
right? Go for a better assignment which will give you a better exposure, better learning, that will give you another layer of character or of the personality which will help you improve, to deal with the situation, or to face uh, the complexity going forward. If you In my personal experience, I would say, when I share any thought now, so I'm not only discussing or sharing my thoughts basis of the current business, because I always have in back in my mind the people practices or behavior which is there in the retail, QSR, wellness, insurance, right? How different people, different geographical condition, different businesses, how people behave, and that's how, I always have a that backend in my mind, and then I'm sharing the people practices thought, so that always help people to. And uh, I guess the another thing is, uh, build relationship. I
Very
guess
nice.
the stakeholder management is the currency today. uh,
Very
if
nice.
if you work on your networking, uh, work on your relationship, like the relationship management, whether inside of the organization or outside of the organization, like the relationship management is the gold that everyone has to invest on it. Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. So see, I find it very powerful because looking at your career journey, like you have come out with so many insights, Akhilesh. I'll come to mentoring, I'll come to awareness, and I'll come to, but before that, see, you shared about experience and knowledge and looking at your career track. So you worked in finance industry, then you worked in QSR, like you mentioned, then you worked in personal grooming, then you worked in farming, fertilizer, farming related products, and now tech along with farming agriculture products.
Yeah.
So there has been a consistent proclivity to get out of the comfort zone and
yeah,
join one industry after the other where you'll be challenged. So, and that is how you would gain. You ended up gaining the experience. You were saying that you have a holistic point of view. So, like you mentioned, how powerful it is to gain wide experience, not change the designation, to prepare yourself for a fast rise to, in your career. See, why am I saying this? Because when I passed out from my MB college, there were no podcasts like this, and there were no mentors. Very difficult to, because that time 97 there were the corporate industry itself, number of professional working professionals, or LinkedIn wasn't there, social media wasn't there.
mm,
So the in the first few years, the conversations amongst our batchmates would be comparison. That fellow, he has received that big a package, he's working there, and we would be like, oh, what am I doing, and maybe I'm not good enough, and all those self doubts. So this statement that don't chase the designation, don't chase the money, chase experience, chase knowledge, it is so very powerful. So some more thoughts on this, and looking at your track record.
yeah. So actually, uh, that's why I have mentioned about my first, my father's first lesson to me, that to understand soil first, because if you understand the soil, then you can grow, right?
Correct.
So I guess that's the only thing, because if you will start comparing, because uh, the soil is very different. I'm just correlating it for a easy understanding. So the soil in northern India versus central India versus western, south, and eastern, everywhere soil is very different. So you need to understand the soil first, right? And you also need to understand yourself. Why yourself? Because if you consider yourself as a plant, because every crop has, or every tree, or a plant has a different nature
Correct.
to give fruits, right? So you need to understand about yourself first, what makes you more engaged, what
Mm-hmm.
role fits for you,
Mm-hmm.
what matches. What is your personal objective and what is your professional objectives, right? If
Mm-hmm.
it's one, then you will grow. And that's how I guess, which will, and that's the reason I'm sharing that don't chase about titles, you chase about the experience. If it's giving kick to you, if you are engaged fully, then of course you will be happy, satisfied. And if you are satisfied, fulfilled, then of course you will outperform. There is no confusion, there is no doubt on it, you are not going to perform. If you will enjoy your work, you will outperform, and no one can stop your growth.
Very nice. So, see, we talked about, again, this is coming back to self awareness.
Yeah,
But now, in today's world, because of social media, the fact is that people don't know what they want.
yeah,
Everybody wants what everybody else wants, and everybody else is also wanting, because they also think that everybody else, and it's sometimes happens that nobody may want something, but everybody is wanting because everybody else is wanting that. So
correct.
how to have that self awareness? What are your techniques? What are your tools you use, or what tools would you advise the young
Yeah.
professionals to be self aware? What do they like? Why do they enjoy? What are the values, etc.?
सो एक बहुत पुरानी कहावत है कि दूसरे के प्लेट का खाना हमेशा ज्यादा अच्छा लगता है. So
Correct.
actually it's a human behavior, I would say, but individual has to, or we need to uh, have some basic uh, personal, or personality or character, because personality can be flexible, but the character will remain same.
Correct.
Character is like root, right? Which has been in there, your personality, right? So personality, we can make it flexible, we can somewhere adopt, learn, but your character will remain same. So I guess we need to understand what is my character is,
Mm-hmm.
what is my way of, right? Because uh, you can't copy, because you
Mm-hmm.
are unique again.
Correct.
So if you understand your own character, and what makes your characters even better, I guess that we need to choose, right?
Correct.
So there are I'm not shying away that I started my career from sales, right? So before, in fact, recruitment, that's not there in my profile, but I do have certain challenges to figure out what works for me, right? So there are two, three, assignment which I started, but it was very small, and there is no much. So 2, 3 months, 5 months, 6 months, where I started feeling that I'm not feeling happy. So I left quickly, right? And that's why I shared in my journey that when I started working as a recruitment consultant, that give
Excited you.
yeah, right. Because it was very powerful, and I started enjoying that. I'm connecting opportunities with people, and the people growing in their life. Many of them which I have recruited in my initial career, right? They are business heads or somewhere into president level. I'm really happy, right?
Very
And
nice.
that's the confidence. And in fact, in the HR also, the people I have recruited in an executive phase or manager level, right? They are the business heads now. So that's another level of joy, right? so
Right.
so so the self awareness is not only about where you are going to grow, how you are going to build your financials, right? The self awareness is to know what makes you happy, what makes you fulfilled. I
Right.
guess this is what in my sense, because
Mhm.
when when I feel that one of my recruit is into that level, right? The financials maybe it's exponential now, but I'm really happy that
Yeah.
I'm the one who has, right, given an opportunity to. So it's a different level of joy, I
Correct.
would. Yeah.
Correct. Very powerful, Akhilesh. So, see, we have talked about hard work in your own job. We have talked about learning about business, going out on calls, at the on a two-wheeler. We have talked about how to understand the cash flow, both incoming and outgoing. And we have also talked about learning, continuous learning, staying curious. Now, a young HR professional, he already or she already has so much on his or her plate in terms of the daily KRAs, the daily KPIs. How should that person take out time apart from excelling in the domain that he or she is supposed to perform? Apart from that, to take out time for learning, to take out time to understand business, to take out time to understand the cash flow, etc. How can he or she do that?
So actually, in my sense, because all the professionals are there in the organization is for business, right?
Correct.
It's just a matter of the engagement, at what level they are being engaged. If they have been engaged only into with the mindset of operational, just come into job, perform whatever task has been given,
Mm-hmm.
and they can go out, right? But if they will start focusing more about it, what else can impact through
Mm-hmm.
their contribution, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the day they will start thinking about what else I can do,
Mm-hmm.
what else I can do, the learning for the revenue understanding, business model understanding, strategic understanding,
Mm-hmm.
it's auto start coming
Correct.
in my sense.
Correct.
So they need not to go for external study. They just need to start focusing into how
Mm-hmm.
they can bring efficiency into day to day. The day they will start working on the efficiency for their day to day,
Mm-hmm.
they will start sensing in a 6 month span
Mm-hmm.
they are moving from operational to strategic role.
Very nice.
Yeah. And I guess when people start working into developing their day to day,
Mm-hmm.
the or and I'm sure all the organizations has that infrastructure for development of such professionals, which will take into one level to another level. And in my organization also we have several leadership programs wherein people are coming, framing their skill set, capabilities, competencies, and they are leading to the platform. So it's a very powerful platform. One, then people should start acting like that. They start uh, practicing
Mm-hmm.
for the next level.
Mm-hmm.
The day people will start shadow for their manager or the next level,
Mm-hmm.
these learnings will auto start coming into.
Very nice. It's so very powerful. So, what else? How else can you make an impact? It is such a powerful statement, Akhilesh. Would you like to share some examples over the course of your journey where you performed out of your daily KRAs, KPIs, and you made an impact, tried to make an impact over and above your normal job responsibilities.
Okay. So everywhere in all the assignment, I would say, because I always enjoy working very closely with business, and I guess if any of my business manager or my ex managers is looking to this program, I guess they can correlate it. Uh, I always try to contribute what better for the business, right? And so for example, when I started recruiting people, right? So I could have, collected data through the portals and can start calling them. But my way of working of recruitment is very different, right? I used to travel to satellite locations to understand the business requirement from the branch managers that
Very
point
nice.
of time,
Very nice.
scouting the talent locally available, right? Because the emerging market wherein a boom for that point of time for insurance, to understand their requirement, tra- hiring, and then making them offer. That's how I started functioning.
Very nice.
So that's another level of joy, learning, and going for a closer to the business, and and that's a credibility. And similarly, uh, uh, in the organization which I am currently in, working from scratch, right? So I always enjoy a project structure wherein we are a functional business manager, but we are here for responsible for a complete business. So we have co-created an environment wherein the functional expertise is there, but always have a one objective, that how we can improve the business, right? So in the initial phase, there was no much functional team available. So working closely with business, working as a marketing manager, initially working as a finance manager,
Very
even
nice.
working to develop a franchise strategies, how we can recruit the franchises on ground, even on the leads as well, right?
Very nice.
Exploring the branding opportunities on ground. So I guess the day you have intent to contribute and create better impact, you will start contributing, and that's the highest level of engagement, I would say.
Very
Yeah.
nice. And this is how I think, see, when I started my career, Akhilesh, I'm talking about 90s, late 90s, mid 90s to late 90s. So HR was looked at in a very certain way by salespeople, for example.
Yeah.
That it's a support function at best.
Yes.
And they have such an easy life, and we are the ones who are going to, etc., etc. But now, because of what you are sharing, and which so many CHROs also share, HR is very much part of the strategy team now with a seat on the table. And
Absolutely.
because of this change, which, like you're mentioning, that being part of business, and it's so powerful, so very powerful. So, to every young HR professional, why should they aspire to be a CHRO only? Why not the CEO? See, I mean, in the next organization or next to next organization, you can very well be a CEO, because your understanding of business, of everything, finance, operations, sales is anyway so good. So it's a, and we are seeing this more and more CHROs are becoming CEOs now.
Yes, yes. And vice versa. In fact, I always think about the top of the hierarchy, and for my aspiration point of view, I'm keeping the same aspiration, right? Not only the CHRO. I always chase the upper layer of, right? And I guess uh, the HR is no more operational now, because everything is getting, automated. All the processes, payrolls, everything is automated. The outside, outsource vendors are available, right? So I guess the real matter of HR is to how we can transform the business, right? Uh, how I can impact to the lives of the internal customers which I have, which will reflect into the external, right? It's because the excellence or the customer delight happens in both way, external and internal, right? If I can able to impact into my internal customers, and that's how I can drive values outside. So because
Correct,
because the optimization is not external, it's a internal. So
correct,
once you start internal, then only you can go for external, right?
correct.
So, and that's why I guess understanding a revenue model, the cash generating model for HR is very important.
Very nice.
If you are able to understand the P&L, how HR role is going to impact on it, and then I guess there's the seat for the in the table of, yeah.
Very nice. Very, and that is why I think we have more and more HR folks now are able to read the balance sheet.
Yes,
I think
correct.
earlier it was. See, I want to talk about mentorship and how it can help. But before that, we also talked about relationships. So again, building relationships and nurturing and maintaining relationships is again such a powerful tool, not only for HR professionals, for everywhere. Moving from one organization to another, moving from one geography to another. So how should what are the key traits required to build relationships, Akhilesh?
So I guess the relationship management is very wider spectrum, I would say. It's not only about people. Uh, for the middle management or young professionals or anyone, right? Uh, I guess relationship in the process is also very important because we need to understand the relationship between people and performance,
Hmm.
right?
Correct.
So we can't have uh, we can't have only focus into people. We can't have only focus into performance. We need to have a balance of the relationship between the people and performance. Uh, and and I guess if you start balancing about the people and performance, right, that will start impacting and contributing. Uh, Similarly, the biggest skill nowadays is the stakeholder management because now being HR, you are not only dealing with large workforce, which is there in the business, but you also need to deal with a lot of key stakeholders, your business managers, your functional managers, uh, your external customers, right? So I guess the stakeholder management is something which is very critical because you need to deliver within the time frame because time is a constraint, right?
Correct.
And uh, how fast we can enable it. So the stakeholder management is the key of success. Uh, that one thing, and the another thing is negotiation, the another level of a skill. So I guess relationship
Mhm.
has all the spectrum, right?
Mhm.
Wherein you need to work on it, or everyone need to work on it. How we can continue to strengthen the relationship not only into the people metrics point of view for the process and strategies
Mhm.
standpoint because uh, the behavior is changing so fast, the market is changing so fast. If we look at many of businesses which is in the peak at a time in
Correct.
90s in two,
Correct.
2000s, right?
Correct.
We can name few of likewise the STDs, right? Just as example, STT booths,
Correct.
everywhere it was available. Nowadays, the new generation may not be knowing about the STD model,
Correct.
right?
Correct.
So the market is shaping its own, right? And I guess, and that's how we need to have very, concerned eyes on it. How we can continue to strengthen the relationship in the market versus the business which we are into, or business versus the role which we are into, versus the function which we are into, versus the stakeholder which we are dealing into, versus the talent we pool which we are creating into, versus the capabilities and skill framework that we are building into. So I guess it has a lot more to learn about, and I guess that's the journey we need to travel together. Yeah.
Very powerful, Akhilesh. So, can we have some example on balancing the relationship between people and performance, where it was a challenge because in your journey, but then you had to think of some creative solution, and how did you manage that? Because it's a very tricky line to navigate, people and performance, because I come from sales, handling
Yeah.
large sales teams, and you have to nurture somebody also, but you have to push for business also, because ultimately you are tasked on that. So how do
Yeah.
you do that? So from HR it would be even more trickier. So some
Yeah.
examples if you could share.
So I guess it's one of the complex, and it's the most complex, I would say,
Correct.
because uh, when we look at the market is growing, for example, from the X speed, right? But the organization performance is going into Y speed. So we always think about that if the market is going with X speed, why we as an organization is going into access speed, right?
Correct.
That's always a question everywhere, right? Because uh, in a larger span, it's more into a market share fight, uh, and understand the capability what we are into, right? And what is the capability that we have as a resources, right? So resources could be people, infrastructure, or process, tangible, intangible in both
Correct.
ways. So so uh so as in this role, what I always think about it, uh again, the balance approach, because what is doable, because uh, for trade the market is big, but we have constraint of resources, right?
Correct.
With the available resources, what best we can do it, or what best individual can perform, right? So because there is a limit, right? So there is a X limit, and from X to where we can, right? How we can stretch it, and from that stretch to, if we want to enlarge, that what sets of infrastructure we would be needed, right? So for shorter term, we need to have a complete assessment and what is doable, what is deliverable,
Mm,
right?
mm,
One. And then second is, given the condition, if we want to stretch, what incentivization, what strategies, what infrastructure may be
mm,
required to stretch this performance to
mm,
make it more easy and doable or achievable. Or
mhm,
if we want to chase the better even, then I guess what should be our strategy today to invest into capabilities and resources
mm.
that will continue to harvest the
Correct.
competencies and capabilities to grow towards. So I guess it's not only a short term,
Mhm.
it's a long term.
Correct.
So and that's a part of the strategic workforce planning, wherein we always think about the current, and we always have a long term plan wherein what we can do today and how we have a phased manner to reach into that level of the
Very
performance.
nice. Very nice. Very powerful, Akhilesh. All right, so we come to mentors. See, why did I keep this towards the latter part is because it is something very close to my heart. So, how important are mentors, and how should a young or even at mid level or even senior level person should go about having mentors?
So see, I guess, and that's why I have given the Chopai of Ramcharitmanas, because whatever we are today, it's
Can you
because of.
explain? Can you explain that Chopai? Because I am sorry, I did not
So
understand.
it's a mati ki rati, gati bhuti bhalai. Mati means the knowledge, whatever we have, right?
Correct.
Mindfulness. Kirati means uh, uh,
Yes.
whatever we are for,
Acha.
why we are, right? So the kirti is the pride which we
Okay.
carry,
Okay.
or the position which we carry. Bhuti, again, the position or the role that we have in the society. Or bhalai, whatever we do, whatever we want to create the impact for the larger community, right? The paropkar which we called, right? जो जेहि जतन जहां जेहि पाई, जिसने भी जैसे जहां से भी पाया, राइट?
Mhm.
ये चीजें कहीं से किसी ने भी पाया, सो जाने हो सतसंग प्रभाव। ये सब किसी ने किसी की संगति से ही पाया है,
Okay.
और कोई दूसरा इसको पाने का कोई दूसरा तरीका नहीं
Nice. I
है,
understand.
इन दैट सेंस। सो हम आज जो भी हैं, जो भी बना है, राइट, irrespective of the levels in
Correct.
the political field or organization field, anywhere, it's because of their mentor and their managers and the organizations
Correct.
whom has believed on it and trusted and given opportunity to, and that's how they are. If there is a lack of trust and they have not been given the opportunity, then no matter what level of talent they has, right,
Correct.
they can't grow. So it's all about the surrounding, and the mentorship.
Very nice.
So yeah. So I always believe that mentor is very critical, and uh, there are many mentors available. Uh, they are there in the market. There are mentors which professional can choose inside of the market. The mentor could be your manager or your business head, and I really appreciate the efforts that you are making. Right, your organization could be a mentor for many of young professionals, could be a path for many of the professionals and managers uh, through such kind of series, and your the efforts into corporate training, I would say, which will definitely give them you know a light, and they can see behind the tunnel, I guess. And many of time, irrespective of the levels, uh, I'm sure in the business side and CEO, or in the promoters level as well, many of times the challenges which come sudden, right? Uh, they need someone who can throw
Correct.
light
Correct.
in the tunnel, right?
Correct.
And that's how the real role of the mentor, which give patience, strategy, understanding, and make them realize that f- from where to you are here, and now you can be there as well. And I guess that's how the backbone is always needed for everyone.
Correct. Correct. So very powerful. So having mentors is very powerful, and they can be a lighthouse. So see, we have talked about so much, so many insights. I'm sure the viewers, the listeners, they would benefit so much. Anything else you would want to say about young professionals, and then maybe some words on people at the mid level?
Okay. So, and thank you so much to you and the listeners of this program, uh, uh, for success, because uh, there is no other way of success uh, than the patience that you should have. Uh, Again, I'm just putting out a learning from the Ramcharitmanas. There is very strong, detailed uh, uh, discussion between Bibhishan and Bhagwan Ram, wherein Bibhishan saw Sri Ram that without uh, shoes, without cloths or kavach or any other things, he is fighting to Ravan, who has a lot of weapons and full of protections. uh, and then how he is going to fight with him. And that point of time, Sri Ram mentioned about that जो विजय रथ है, he very beautifully explained about it. Whenever you have time, you can read it, the Vijay Rath in Ramcharitmanas. Then he said कि जो विजय रथ है, it's very different. It's not with the physical things. And uh, there are detailed, but I'm just putting out only one. सौरज धीरज तेहि रथ चागा, सत्यशील दृढ़ ध्वजा पताका. So Sauraj, which is a skill that you have, the knowledge that you have. धीरज, which is a patience, right? सौरज धीरज, ये बिना इसके आप प्रोग्रेस नहीं कर सकते हो, जब तक आप में धीरज नहीं है, पेशेंस नहीं है, और अपस्किल नहीं कर रहे हो, तब तक यू कांट प्रोग्रेस. सो फॉर ऑल द यंग प्रोफेशनल्स, और द प्रोफेशनल्स who are watching this program, I would suggest them to have patience, continue to work on their skill, continue to stay focused, be constant, and that will definitely take you to the success.
Very nice. So you have memorized the entire Ramcharitmanas, is it?
Yeah, that's my one of favorite area. Yes.
Very nice. Very nice. And what about people at the mid level, HR people or people anywhere?
So mid-level, I suggest them to understand business. Don't shy to get into deep into the business. Interact with customer more. Go into floors. Go to the business field. Understand more and more about the customers. Understand more and more about the businesses. Understand how you are contributing organization to generate cash,
Mhm.
because you are there for the business, and
Mhm.
business is all about money. If
Correct.
you start understanding customer, their behavior, and how you are developing business out of it, you will start progressing, right? And you will start functioning well in your day to day, because it's directly start giving you engagement, kick. And that's how you start investing in yourself, how you can excel in yourself, and then of course organization will continue to invest on it. So it's a both way. If you will contribute to organization to grow, then organization will you know
Correct.
invest on you to grow. So it's a hands on hand. Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. Something for people at the senior level, Akhilesh.
For
What would
me,
be your
actually, it's all about कि सूर्य को दीपक आप दिखा रहे हैं, but I guess for the seniors and mentors, I always request to always extend support, your mentorship to the professionals, whosoever comes to you for learning. I guess that's how you are uh, uh, contributing to the society,
Correct.
and that's the value that you are, that the opportunity of driving values through the knowledge and experience they have. I guess itself, I don't think uh, uh, it's going to be another level of I'm sure it's going to be another level of fulfillment for them. Yeah.
Very powerful. Thank you. Thank you, Akhilesh. So it has been almost an hour since we started chatting, and we have to. There are so many other points that we can have a discussion on, but we have to maintain the time limits, Akhilesh.
Sure.
So thank you. It has been very insightful and full of learning session. I'm sure viewers and listeners who would be watching this, they would benefit a lot. So thank you. Thank you so much for giving us time, Akhilesh.
Thank you so much, Amit, and thank you so much, Kaushal Academy, for featuring me for this episode. A lot of learning through the thought-provoking, question that you had. Thank you so much for all the audience.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.